Okay, we're going to start with the nation. INEC, reset of BVAS, a must for governorship poll. Excuse me. Daniel Jim Obamidele, 98 senators elect, get their COR, that certificate of return. Banks pay old Naira notes to customers. APC supporters march for democracy. Transform Nigeria, NSCIA tells Tinubu. Someone who takes campaign to markets. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Should we start with major headline? Okay, so applications already are before the Presidential Tribunal, Election Tribunal for, BVAS resets. So the Labour Party and the PDP are saying that, they should reserve the status of the BVAS as it is until the entire petition is seen to. But the INEC is saying we need this same BVAS to conduct the next poll this weekend. And so we need to reset it already. Ooh. Also, the APC have applied to the petition, the election petition, to inspect election material used and get copies of it before time. So I think the APC is in the right order, not because of any sentiment now. You can inspect and take copies that you need for your petition, right, while the BVAS is used for the polls. But the other parties are saying retain it as it is without. And INEC, at this point, hands are tied. People are now suggesting that the elections for this weekend will be postponed because of this situation that we have on ground. But, some parties know the right thing to do. They are also citing what happened in Osun State. And I'm saying Osun did not have an immediate election after the governorship election, so they could reserve things as they were. But as it is now, we have another election ahead, and things could be done differently. Also, INEC has sacked the INEC rec for Sokoto State, and the reasons are not given in the report. But the INEC has asked that the rec in Sokoto State, Dr. Noura Ali, be excused immediately, and it was signed by the INEC secretary in the state. They've also asked that the administrative secretary in Sokoto State immediately takes over and act and take liaise with the supervisory national commissioner for any clarification for that going forward. But the reason for that removal of the rec is not given.
Yes.
Okay, I have.
Muhammadu Buhari give a women's message for International Women's Day. He lauded the achievement of Nigerian women in all facets of life. And he said that the only thing now is that the women were underrepresented in the political space, and something has to be done about that. So that message, he says that he's saluting the hard work and dedication of Nigerian women, working tirelessly and achieving results in different fields of endeavor, from their sacrificing daily in the markets, to the farms, to the train, the next generation of leaders, to those breaking limits in education, sports, medical field, arts, entertainment, and even politics. They are still largely underrepresented, and we have to do something about it. He said also that he's very proud to have worked and associated with some of Nigeria's brightest women in his cabinets, government, and in the international community. He's thanking the Amazons that have served meritoriously as partners in the progress witnessed in his political, economic, and social fronts. Right. Also, different organizations had their own messages to women, and the bottom line is that we need to still keep the fight alive for gender equality.
Okay. Yes, I've got banks pay old Naira notes. So some banks have continued to the payments of old Naira notes to their customers yesterday. But this is in spite of the failure of CBN to issue a formal directive to that effect. Nation says that they have been trying to make efforts. They've made efforts for to get clarification from CBN on, what the way forward is. They said they finally got a source who volunteered information on the matter and said that there's no information to add or to refute on the current scarcity of Naira at the banks, and asked that the nation goes to the different banks and, update themselves. So if we look at the different states, we have some bank branches that paid old Naira notes in Oyo, Edo, Rivers, Abia, Kwara, Imo, Anambra, Plateau, Jigawa, Akwa Ibom, and Yobe. There are some other states. So in Lagos, they mentioned that some bank branches paid and people received, but some banks refused to collect some people, when they go to the bank, refuse to collect the Naira notes because for them, they say that the traders, fuel stations,
Not taking it.
many other people are not accepting it. Even in Plateau State, they're saying many of the traders do not recognize the old notes as legal tender. So now, what do we have? We have a confusing situation.
Yeah.
We have Supreme Court that says go ahead. We have a CBM that is bomb. We have Nigerians that don't know whether we are using the old or the new.
not.
We're just scattered.
Yeah, so they're still
Exactly.
expecting the CBN to say
Say
something about
something.
the 500 Naira and
the
1,000.
Yeah.
All right, so the Deputy Secretary General, Professor Salisu Shehu of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs yesterday lauded the victory of the President-elect Bola Tinubu, who was saying specifically that the council is confident that he will bring to bear the wealth of experience in assembling an all-inclusive team of experts in the administration of our country in a way that would foster unity and peace, as well as engender sustainable development that we all crave, which was an important message at this time. Moving on quickly now to the Punch. Fuel stations, others reject old Naira. Bank ration cash, as we said earlier. Lagos cannot get lion's share as local governments share 2 trillion Naira. Fuel scarcity to linger till after elections, says marketers. LP and NPP kick as police bar dogs from polling booths. Aviation fuel hits 850 Naira, 840 Naira. Airlines predict flight delays. Over 200 cyber attacks blocked during presidential poll. BVAS data intact. INEC tells court and parties. Okay.
Yeah, I have local airlines on the airline operators of Nigeria have disclosed that aviation fuel, that the Jet A1 has become scarce, and the situation, according to them, may lead to flight delays. The Assistant Secretary of the Airline Operators of Nigeria says that the aviation fuel is not available. There's still scarcity, and yes. And then they talked about the prices. They said that sometimes that one thing with the aviation fuel is that it's the price is a deregulated market. So it's however the prices go and how much quantity you even buy. It says, but the prices usually range from 700 to 900. And it also shows that Nigerian aviation sector spent 192 billion in 2022 on aviation fuel. But they're also trying to explain that the steep in prices has a lot to do with the war that's going on in Ukraine and the increase in crude oil prices.
Yeah, that's very in Punch.
Yes. So there's scarcity of premium motor spirit. That's the fuel in Abuja and some other northern states. They mentioned Nasarawa, Niger, and more states up north. And they said the cost of petrol has risen to as high as 400 Naira per litre. The black market people are selling 450 to 500 Naira per litre. And they said one of the issues they're having is the fact that they are not sure of how the elections would hold. And so people are not moving their trucks to go pick up the fuel and supply. And that's what is. Then secondly, the fact that there's this cash crunch, the fuel stations are not collecting cash as well. And so people are not able to do their businesses. And so it's going to likely linger, especially in the north, till after the elections. Maybe then the queues will ease up.
Okay. Any other stories in Punch? Let's take final story.
Labour Party NNPP kicks as police won. So the police PRO for Olumuyiwa Adejobi has read out section 126 of the Electoral Act that bans dogs and classifies dogs as offensive weapons, as some of their owners and handlers are saying that they would go to the polls with them this weekend as protection against dogs. And they also classify them generally, warning people not to do this, to bring their dogs to the polling units.
So don't bring your
protect themselves then?
Protect yourself.
How?
They'll come with dogs.
Whatever you consider.
What if you endanger someone?
No.
The
So
Electoral
they say,
Act bans it.
I know, but they say that the rationale behind it is the fact that thugs will come in and attack. And thugs are more afraid of dogs than...
They are preemptive.
But do we obey the law or disobey the law because
no, of
someone is
course not.
feeling?
I'm just asking. There's a rationale behind why people are saying they are going
Well,
to
are we
come
saying
out
that
with
thugs cannot come out with dogs too? So should there be a
dogs
dog?
those dogs don't
dogs.
have
And what if they have dogs?
What if they now have dogs? It's okay, now we can bring out dogs. Let's bring out dogs.
You cannot be a dog.
Let's bring out Alsatians or all those bulldogs and
You should not let dog bite.
But that's not the point. The point is people are trying to protect themselves, so they should have looked at the reasons why this is happening.
They've looked at it. They provided security.
Which
Polling
security?
units are supposed to be safe places.
Yeah.
Was
you
it
can call
safe?
for backup. The soldiers were there at the last elections.
move on.
But don't bring your dog. I have a trauma from dog bites.
Yeah,
I cannot.
yeah.
Don't bring your dog to a polling unit. I would not be able to vote. I won't even
Yeah.
come close. So.
Right. Okay, because people can read it as
We
a
don't
way
want
to
talks
scare
at polling
people.
units.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the
People say
But
are
did they
scaring.
listen before? They were talks before.
Yeah, so it's across the country. Thugs were in every part of
So
the
the
country.
police
But if you,
on
are
the
we
ground,
saying that there was no
soldiers should be on
security
ground.
at all in other places? We know that
securities
something
didn't
happened.
have
We know
anything.
that some places that there
And
was.
then the-
But we also know that security was provided.
Yes,
So to
and
now
the
say that people
army-
should bring dogs will make for a better. It doesn't. We're just making
It's like a self-help.
worse- We're making it
Self-help,
worse.
exactly.
And self-esteem.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we'll bring in Dr. Olumide Emmanuel to discuss his Global Real Estate Executive Bootcamp. Stay with us. We'll be right back.